Hello everyone, this is YouTube Media, and with me here we are going to be unboxing and reviewing the Ricoh CX4 digital camera. The CX4 is the successor to the CX1, 2, and 3. This comes in 3 different colors, silver, black, and pink. I obviously have the silver, and this is 10 megapixel camera and 10.5 times zoom. So let's go ahead and open this up. There's a lot of warranty information on the top. There's also the software disk for a PC and a nice manual of all instructions and visuals that you will need for the camera. Under it on the bottom of the box is the portable battery charger, lithium-ion rechargeable battery for the camera, a USB to mini USB cord so you can connect this to a computer or printer, AV cables so you can hook this up to a television, the CX4 digital camera itself right here, beautiful camera, and also a wrist strap. So here is the CX4 itself. It weighs about 7 ounces. It's not that heavy, about the same as other digital compact cameras. So we're going to start off by looking at some of the hardware aspects on the CX4. Starting at the top, we have the shutter release button, the zoom lever, the mode dial. Also these 2 holes are the microphone and the power button. On the right side you have slots or holes for the wrist strap. This rubber cover covers up the terminal or the USB and AV out. It's a mini USB. The cords for both of these are provided, and pop that back on. On the front is the flash, the auxiliary light for the self timer, got the lens cover, and this vertical panel acts as both design and gripping when you're holding the camera. On the left side, not much going on. On the main back, we have a beautiful 3-inch LCD screen, which is covered by a screen protector. You also have the OK button right here. This also acts as a joystick, up, down, left, and right. You can move it to the right for the flash settings and move it to the left for macro mode. This is the playback button, the menu button, the function button, the trash and self-timer button, and the display button. And right here is the speakers for the camera. And this is, again, rubber gripping for holding the camera. Now on the bottom, you have a convenient tripod hole, and this is also where the battery compartment is. On the back of the battery compartment here, you can also insert up to a 32 gigabyte SD card. So we're going to go ahead and install the rechargeable lithium-ion battery. This actually has an excellent or outstanding battery life. It goes up to 330 shots on a full charge. And when I was comparing it to other Canon digital cameras of the same price, PowerShots, it actually is a lot longer battery life. The Canons are average about 2 to 250, and the Ricoh CX4 is about 330 shots. So let's go ahead and turn this on. Alright, so we're going to start off by looking at some of the indicator icons on the screen. At the bottom right, we have the battery icon. At the top, we have the picture size, the picture quality at 10 megapixels. 22 is the amount of shots I have left before memory is full. IN stands for internal. I'm using internal memory, which is why I only have 22. Otherwise, if I have an SD card inserted, it'll say SD. Right here's the standard shooting mode is the camera icon, auto flash, 30 centimeters, the closest I can get for the standard shooting mode. Otherwise, I'd have to switch it to macro, which we just move the joystick to the left. And it goes up to 1 centimeters, which is amazing. You can get up to 1 centimeters as far as closeness when you take a shot. Let's move it back to the standard mode. And this is the zoom bar. You also notice down here, this is a level indicator. When it's right in the middle, it's perfectly even horizontally. Otherwise, when it's not level, it will be yellow. You want to line it up right in the middle, so that's really handy when you're shooting a movie and you want it to be all straight and stuff. Let's look at some of the different shooting modes. Right now we're in the standard shooting mode. Next up is creative shooting mode, continuous shooting mode, scenic mode, scenic auto, which is the same thing but it will do everything automatically, movie mode, so you can go up to 1280 by 720 HD at 30 frames per second, my settings 2 and my settings 1. Let's go ahead and explain what my settings 1 and 2 is. Basically, when you switch the settings on your camera and you want it to stay like that, every time you turn it on, you can program it in my settings 1 or my settings 2. So every time you turn it on that, it will go back to those settings, kind of like a user account on a computer. Think of it that way. So let's say I switch it to macro mode. I switch the megapixels to 7. Now we want to save that, so we're going to press the menu, go to Tools, register my settings right here. Move to the right, and we're going to choose My Settings 1 or My Settings 2. We'll go ahead and do My Settings 2. Just click OK, and it has been saved. So let's go back to Menu. So now let's check it out if it worked. We're going to switch this to My Settings 2. And there you go. It's still at macro mode, and it's still at 7 megapixels. So you can change all the other settings, including portrait mode or whatever, and you'll be able to program that. So that's really handy. You can have it for 2 different people. Let's go on to Scenic Auto. So as I said, this is just automatically going to pick your scenes without you pressing anything. So when I move it around, you can hear it moving there. It does that all automatically depending on the light and everything. So let's go to Scenic. You can hear it still moving. Alright, this is the Scenic mode. You can obviously pick your different scenes by pressing Menu. You have Portrait mode, Sports. There's one right here, Text mode, which is supposed to be really handy when you want to take a picture of notes on a whiteboard that you didn't write down, so you can quickly grab it. This is specifically meant for it. And you have a couple different scenic modes, about a dozen. Let's go back to the page. Continuous shooting mode. This is a really interesting and great feature on the CX4. So this is basically going to continuously take shots when you hold down the button. So this is excellent when something's going to happen fast but you don't know when and if you'll be able to get the shot in time. So you use this mode, you can press Menu. Let's use the M Continuous plus 20. So basically the camera's going to shoot at 30 frames per second, and only the last 26 shots are recorded when you let go of the button. So I'll demonstrate this to you. We click OK. So let's go ahead and do this. Let's take off macro mode. You can hear it continuously shooting. It's going to record them. Alright, then we can press the playback button. Click OK. And here are the 26 shots, all 26 of them, frame by frame. Each shot, there we go. You can see it moving. You can also just do a slideshow if you want. So that's a really handy feature. Alright, so here is continuous shooting mode, or creative shooting mode, sorry. Creative shooting mode, just switch modes, you just press the menu button, and you can choose different modes. The H, high contrast black and white, reminds me of Ansel Adams because of the high contrast, and it's not just black and white, it's got the really high contrast, adds a really nice look to the picture. I particularly like that creative shooting mode. And you can see now everything is black and white with lots of contrast. And if we press menu, there's also soft focus mode, which is excellent for portraits because it's going to soften your skin tones. So those are a couple of the different creative shooting modes. So that's about it as far as the user interface. Excellent modes, excellent features, lots of different great options. I'm going to be showing some sample footage and images at the end here, but the CX4 definitely surpassed my expectations. I would consider it to be a very high-end digital compact camera. Now, 2 other things I do want to mention is the finish is like a gradient on the camera, so it doesn't show any fingerprints. And also, the 3-inch LCD screen is beautiful, very crystal clear. It's 920,000 dots resolution. Now, when I compare this to a lot of other cameras of the same price online, this surpassed the resolution of those by 2 to 4 times the amount. So make sure to check out all the links in the video description below. And remember, this is the CX4 made by Ricoh.